Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit with your boy Sophisticated Jerk. I got Stan and Rush in the building. So, man, how's everybody doing before we jump in these topics?
I'm doing
Oh, feeling
well,
good, feeling
excited.
great, man. Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Nah,
go for it, man. Join in. Like I'm doing well. I'm excited.
yeah, but
Yeah, I'm doing
before we
good.
jump in, oh my bad, Rush. But just before we jump into these topics, man, yeah, we took some shots from what's her name, Melissa Ford, and they had us up in the clip. So we gonna review that on Rush's channel tomorrow. So y'all definitely tune in over his channel. I'll put it on the post. Yeah, we going in. They was throwing some strays. They said, "Hey, the wall don't exist." She was like, "What the fuck these guys talking about?" Yeah, so she threw them shots. Shout out to us, pissing people off. But all right, man. Before we got like three topics today. So the first one is gonna be kind of like an icebreaker, man, because I did a breakdown on this one. It was like this little weirdo guy, man. He was knocking on these people's door, acting all weird. They caught him on like a doorbell cam. So I want to pull it up and see. Y'all let me know what would y'all do if this happened to y'all, man. If like you at your crib chilling and a motherfucker going off on your doorbell like this. Yeah, this mug was a straight up weirdo.
You got Dollar Tree
Chilling
sandals?
new ring camera footage shows the moment a man
Oh, I didn't even notice he had on some sandals. Sandals and a trench coat.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
bad combination.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying already.
dressed in black demands to enter a private residence in Fairfield, California.
Open the door. No.
In the
Wait
video,
a
the man
minute.
later
Okay, can you
identified by
pause?
Yeah.
That's a good. All this time this video been. I didn't know that's like a good 20 minutes from where I live.
Yeah, you might want to cut your camera.
Oh my god!
This motherfucker gonna run up on you like, hey,
I thought this was on the East Coast. They played on the news. I thought this was on the East Coast.
oh, so this is around your neck of the woods?
Yeah, literally, it's 20 minutes. It's like 5 minutes from my job, 20 minutes from where I live.
So what y'all producing over there? What y'all got in the water over there? They got these dudes. Hold on, let me back it up a little bit.
and later identified by police as 30-year-old Jason Nichols asks about the homeowner's daughter
Where's your daughter, man? Talking about.
while claiming to be Harry Dresden, a popular urban fantasy character. You then hear the homeowner, who was away at the time, repeatedly tell Nichols to leave.
Can you leave my house, please?
Can you open the door, please?
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
Triggering this terrifying reaction. According to a police statement, a woman and child were home when Nichols entered through a separate sliding glass door before the homeowner finally arrives at the residence armed with a shovel.
I don't know who you are.
According to the statement, the altercation turned physical with both sustaining head injuries. It's unclear if Nichols had any connection to the homeowner or his.
They talking about some black fatigue out here. Got weirdos running up on people's doors like this. But let me ask y'all, man. Say like this played out at your doorbell, man. How would you like handle this situation? What the fuck would y'all do?
Oh man, like I usually have a group of friends at my house. So he probably would have got jumped that day, man, if he would have did that to my house, man. Like he would have caught the beats. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt. What about you, Stan? How would you handle this situation?
I will call the police. That's number one. And two, if it so happened that the door is open, anything that happens inside my house happens inside the house. Because I'm just protecting myself.
That's one of those read between the lines shit. I caught that. Wally, I don't know if you seen this. Oh, go ahead.
But I was gonna say this: that community is it's we live in a commuter residential, like rural residential homes. Like everybody travels 2 to 4 hours to work. So what happens during the day? You really need a ring camera because you're away for 2 to 4 hours because of commuting and how far your job is. So it's not like if anybody like, oh, why wasn't he's there? I'm like, yo, trust me, like these communities are like the suburbs. Like it's away from major cities and everybody gotta travel far for their jobs.
You know what, man? Like, I definitely would have gave him that work. Like, you come to my door like that, like, say you go. There's gonna be some funeral parlors getting some business, but man, the worst fear that I probably have out of like any type of dudes is a dude that gets no ass. I know everybody in their mind, they're like, man, it's gonna be the guy with the barcode on his neck. He got like a tear tat. I'm like, nah, I'm not scared of them dudes. Like, it's a dude that can't get no
I
girlfriend.
think by looking at him, he might have some sort of like mental illness, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that going around too.
Nah, definitely. He got something. If he was talking about he was a Harry Dresden from a TV show. Yeah, there's something. And he wearing a trench coat and some sandals. But I ain't gonna lie to you. He would have got that work, but I definitely would have been like nervous. Like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah, that's like the fact he was looking for the daughter. I'm like, yo, like we don't even know how old that girl is.
yeah, I wonder if he lived in the
that
neighborhood.
house.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if he lived in the neighborhood. Like, he been like watching. Cause yeah, he came over there comfortable. Like, man, where your daughter at? Yeah. In that like weird voice. Yeah, I seen this clip. I was like, I gotta ask y'all what y'all would do. Wally, man. I ain't even. Wally, man. Did you see the clip with this guy up at the doorbell?
Yeah.
What would you have done if you was at home chilling? You got your Modelo. You about to wind down, and this guy come to your door, and he's like knocking all erratic like this.
Well, first and foremost, I would look to see what the fuck is going on. And the moment I start seeing him go crazy, I'm gonna be like, well, one, he's on drugs. Two, I'm gonna be like, well, if he's on drugs, let me help him out with a nice little injection called a bullet, because he's gonna get one on a high standpoint.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my ass. They ain't no allegedly. He's getting a nice injection called a bullet right in his ass.
Yeah, Wally said, "Hey, trespassing. You ain't gotta like read between the lines on that." Yeah, it's definitely. I agree with Rush, man. There's definitely some mental illness going on there, man. Like I saw that, I was like, "This is crazy, man." People worried about the wrong shit.
The saddest part about living in California, there's a couple things on the East Coast that you guys have. They just don't implement here. It's like they don't believe in gates. And the gates that we do have are like picket fence gates, like little wooden gates for like strawberry shortcake and My Little Pony. I'm like, why would you guys, like a gate is supposed to protect you, but here they just don't want it at all. But then you have stuff like this that's happening, and it's like, yo, what would have happened if you had a gate that you didn't have to worry about people just walking into your yard and doing this type of stuff? 'Cause I want to tell you this: the ring, I had a ring in my apartment building. Whoever stole it, they thought probably was an iPhone because they broke the case and took it out.
Yeah, I think some neighborhoods, man, them gates, I don't think like, they will really keep too many people out, man. I think that motherfucker, he was that type that would like jump that fence.
No, but the gates you guys have on the East Coast are real gates. The stuff that we have here in Northern California, I laugh at that stuff. I'm like, what kind of stuff is this?
But I'm saying like that's a pretty expensive neighborhood though, right?
You still need gates. Again, remember, like people are away from their homes. So you're looking at in the morning, everybody normally leave the house at 4 o'clock in the morning to make it to work at 8. You leave work at 5, you don't make it home until 9. So during that whole time, if you are alone, you don't have anybody watching your property except for, the ringtone and whatever alarm system you have.
But see, that's why you gotta be friends with them Karens in the neighborhood. You gotta like bake them a pie, give them some baked goods every once in a while. They be watching your house, so you gotta be friendly with them Karens. But shout out to Original Beauty. She said she gonna hide and ring the police. I feel you, cause yeah, my boy was erratic. So all right, man, let me. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the next topic. So the next one, I guess, man, all the kids that been graduating, they've been having like some senior days and stuff, and they've been like going around, fighting, breaking into shit. So I know in DC, man, they're saying like, hey, if the kids go over the top like that, we charging the parents, man. So what do y'all feel about the parents catching them charges? You think that's a good thing or that's over the top?
It is a good thing, man. Like if your child out there terrorizing people's people in gated communities and destroying businesses and all that, your ass need to get fined because you ain't raised your kid right, man. These kids is off the chain, man. I'm telling you, man. They's not playing around out here, man. You know what I mean?
So Rush, you're saying just a fine. What about jail time?
Yeah, man. That too.
Damn, okay.
At least
okay.
a year. They say 6 months, man. That should need to be a year. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Like if you, because I've dealt with the YNs firsthand, man. Them kids is off the hinges, man. Know what I mean? Like, yo, if you ain't got no patience, man, you won't get locked up dealing with these kids, man. Word is born.
Okay. All right, Stan. What about you, man?
No. No. Like you gonna make the whole family go into bankruptcy and homelessness. It's like because this little boogerhead don't want to get his life right. No, put him in jail and her. Get the sweat equity out of them. Let them learn their lesson. Why the parents gotta be charged? Because they paying taxes too.
Now they need to be charged, man. It's not you thinking you looking at it like like when we was kids when we threw a few toilet papers at a tree by a house and all that, lighting the manure in a brown paper bag, and you ring the doorbell and step up. They're not doing that. Like they're really terrorizing people out there, man. Like it's serious, man.
But you gonna put it on the parents? Suppose the parents is the foster home. Are we gonna put the state in prison? The warden?
Nah, that would be different at that point.
They need to get fined too, man. Nah, you don't know, man. You ain't never dealt with no YNs. That's why you talking like that, man. You dealt with YNs firsthand, man. Yo, you want to have a whole different perspective on this, man. Know what I mean, these kids is off the hinges, man. You know what I mean? And it'll make the parents do their job, raise your kid right, man. These kids is man.
But you can't raise your kids without being called on by CPS, social workers. If the kid don't want to listen to you, they already got a system to back them up to go ahead and punish the parents already as it is.
Yeah, you should have never had a kid, man. If you can't handle it, man, don't have kids, man. I'm saying.
Shout out to Rush. Rush is stern on this one. Let me get Wally real quick. We'll watch it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, SJ.
Oh no. I was just gonna say, let me get Wally real quick, and then watch, and then we'll play the video.
Right.
Wally. So you think the parents should be charged, or
for what? For someone else's
if their kids is out here like on these like senior days, smashing up businesses, fighting, and all that.
Now, when we say kids, like what age range are we talking about here?
Under 18.
Under 18.
So it could range from like 15 to 17, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say it like this. At this point in this time,
play a clip. Play one of those clips from DC, so they have an idea what you're talking about.
Okay, let me go ahead. Yeah, let me good idea, Rush. Let me play that, and then we'll get to Wally in 100.
And thank you for being with us here at 10 o'clock. I'm Josh Chapin, D.C.'s top prosecutor, rolling out a new plan to crack down on juvenile crime as we get closer to summer break. The U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, says her office will start charging parents if their kids are involved in so-called teen takeovers.
My office will aggressively prosecute parents under D.C.'s curfew law. And the specific statute that we will use is a violation of D.C. Code 22-811. This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. The penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment.
Now, this is an issue we have covered extensively, notably in Navy Yard, where 7 News has seen hundreds of teens gathering on the weekends, getting into fights, and in some cases, assaulting police officers. Our Felicia Ashley went into the community tonight, got reaction from people in Navy Yard.
Hey, pause real quick.
I went back to the neighborhood commission.
Before you continue, right? Just want to make sure I understand. The people that are, so who's getting locked up here? The parents or the kids?
The parents.
The parents.
who the fuck is going to control the kids then? They get locked up. Make that make sense. All right, keep playing the video. Lord have mercy.
Hold on. We're gonna circle back to that.
Lord have mercy.
And parents who said that they wanted something done after seeing some of the destructive behavior when swarms of teens and kids would flood to Navy Yard. U.S. Attorney Pirro said this is the first weekend that they could start prosecuting the parents. Is this that accountability you all were looking for?
Not exactly. I think it's federal overreach. You know, the accountability that I was talking about really needs to happen on a local level. Like we need to start investing more in our communities and our families.
Is this the answer you were looking for?
It is. Honestly happy with the accountability piece of this when it comes to parental accountability, because we've dealt with this now for a year.
Nick Wilson is a parent of teens and a neighborhood commissioner in Navy Yard.
One, we don't want the teens coming in and committing crimes and causing troubles. But also, one of the things that we found out when we talk to teens is sometimes coming out is better than what's going on in their households.
Edward Daniels is also a commissioner who says he's for Pirro's actions, but not the method.
Her means of addressing the situation, I think that we can address this with
Damn, they
local
wilding out in there.
resources, meaning MPD. I don't think that we need federal resources.
If you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time.
Policing and putting people in jail.
Hold on, let me play one more. Cause yeah, they've been doing it.
My answer, all right, as it is. Like, what the hell is it?
No. No.
I'm with Rush on this one. Hold on.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. Two teenagers shot just about a week apart during these mass gatherings in Detroit, and the most recent just last night on the west side. Last week, we spoke with 14-year-old Tavon Clark, who was shot in the chest after a fight broke out during a teen takeover downtown. On Saturday, the 17-year-old accused of pulling the trigger was charged as an adult.
The teen takeovers have been causing problems for weeks. Last month, Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield announced a 6-point plan to address summer violence, focusing on gun safety, curfew compliance, and youth engagement. Well, Randy Wimbley is your Detroit reporter, and he was there for that announcement last month. Tonight, he's raising the voices of concerned neighbors and community leaders, asking, what is the solution?
Massive crowds flooded Peterson Park on Detroit's west side on Memorial Day for another so-called teen takeover.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Neighbors tell me it started out peaceful, but things took a turn as fights broke out and police moved in to disperse the crowds. All of it leaving neighbors like this man who did not want.
Yeah, so that's Detroit. So I'm gonna play one more real quick. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but yeah, they wilding out at these little functions.
Aren't they always wilding out in Detroit?
You said ain't nothing new, huh?
Yeah, they wound up in Detroit.
Two scenes where violent fights break out. Police in Middletown and Narragansett bringing out the cuffs today after multiple reported fights, including a stabbing. In total, 12 people were arrested on the sand. Viewers captured the chaos on camera as many beachgoers ran for their lives. Thanks for staying up tonight, everybody. I'm Dan Janik.
Good evening. I'm Patrice Wood. In Narragansett, police are still looking for the person who took a knife to the beach. The night team's John Perrick is live with the very latest. John.
Yeah, Patrice and Dan.
All right, that's the gist of it. But yeah, so I guess like all these places, man, parents are just dropping these kids off and they're like, hey, y'all have at it. Have fun. We'll come scoop y'all up later or something.
Yeah, because they're teenagers. That's the whole thing about a teenager. You have more freedom as you grow up.
You wilding on this one. With all those sceneries, like all the fights and stabbings, my man got shot. You think
Sorry. It's kind of hard for me to listen from two dudes from New York who's running the streets when they were like 11 or 10. What are we talking about? Y'all already knew the subway system. Y'all was getting to some stuff that I don't know nothing about, and I don't, and you know, you didn't tell me, but y'all grew up in NYC, and I know y'all was running stuff in NYC at a young age and doing Lord knows what, and having the time of your life in adventures.
But if I stepped over some limits, man, I wouldn't be mad if my parents went to jail, man.
Did you do that on purpose so your parents would go to jail?
They should have had a domain over their household, like Russ said. Hey, they should have done their job.
No, but like, what else can you do? Because like, they're teenagers. They're supposed to go out. But why aren't
like, I'm gonna give you some pushback, man. These kids that not only the kids but the parents need to feel some type of repercussions, man. Like, you're talking like this because you haven't really dealt with a situation like that with these kids firsthand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is not, you would have to be a very patient person to deal with these new breed of kids, man. Like, these kids are really disrespectful and out of control, man. Not every man is gonna be patient with that kind of disrespect, man. So I think it's a good idea to the parent get locked up for that. Not only get locked up, but pay those fines so that they can have some type of incentive to raise their kids right, man. These kids is off the chain, man. You know what I mean? Can you imagine you getting a phone call and a teen takeover thing pop off, right? And your child gets shot behind that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
How you gonna feel as a parent? You know what I mean?
Let's look at it right now. You got this one right here, this one over here, and this one right here, and that's myself. We know what happened to like kids who act up. They get sent back to the islands. And when they come back,
but nah, Stan, real quick, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Because I get it, man. We were like some troublemakers, but you don't think like, man, we need to try to break the cycle? Because I get it, man.
To break the cycle, right? To break the cycle, I mean, like, you should have had provisions for, like long time ago. Like, why all of a sudden you're gonna have a curfew for teenagers? You should have been had a curfew for teenagers. You should have, like, there was laws like you just couldn't go nowhere unless there was an adult with you. And it's like there was things in place. I don't know when people got relaxed and just stopped it, but also you also used to have teen jobs and what's the other stuff? Youth groups and stuff like that. So when you don't invest in that, what are they supposed to do all that energy? Because you got a bunch of energy at that age. And then, parents are tired. I've been feeding you. All you do is keep on eating and drinking up all this milk. Get out. I pay for this house. I don't want to see you no more.
But it sounds like from the videos, like the parents are literally dropping them off at these like functions, and the kids are just running rampant. So that's where it's a little.
At the mall, right? You gonna meet your friends. You ain't gonna tell your parents you're going to some teen. I ain't talking about.
So your solution is do nothing. Just let them run rampant, huh?
I too am guilty of teen angst when I told my parents I was going to church and I was going to a college party in high school. But I done my stuff and I try to get away or whatever and gone to the nightclub. Shout out to Pac Jam in Miami, Florida. Uncle Luke, what's up? It was a nightclub that was open to like 14-year-olds up to like 20, 24 in Florida. But like we all done things because you about to be an adult, so you just want to go out and discover America.
Stan enabler. That's what Stan's doing right now. Let me get Wally in there.
How many kids out there though? You can't police all of them.
They're gonna police the parents. That's the whole intent. They're like, look, your kid acting out and you dropping them off and you ain't got no oversight, you're gonna pay the penalty. So that's how they gonna break that cycle. They're like, fuck it.
It's another way for them to collect taxes, and them taxes go right into their pockets and do nothing for the community. That's
I disagree. I'm gonna circle back to that one. Let me get Wally's take. Wally, what's your take on that? Do you think they're wrong for charging the parents for these kids acting up?
No. I think they should be charged. But the thing is, though, to sit here and say to get them locked up, though, that I ain't agreeing with. Because here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that idea. Okay, so someone else's kids go out there and go mess up the community one way or another, and you're gonna lock them up and put them in prison for up to 6 months. My thing is, who's watching, controlling the kid that was out there doing the delinquency? That's one. Two, Then now, when you locked up the parents, now who's paying for their rent / mortgage that they have to take care of on a daily basis? That's three. That's the second part. So for me, that's not even common. That's not really a solution. That's really just a fuck you bomb to parents that has kids and they go out here doing some dumb shit, and then you put your parents in worse shit just because you want to be an idiot. So for me, again, I don't see that as a proper trade-off of accountability. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be accountable. I do think they should. For me, if it was me and I'm looking at this my way, I would sit here and say, A, you definitely got to pay for damages. B, you definitely have to put in community work to fix the damages, meaning you working there to fix and prepare the damages that were created. So, because your chick caused it, so you now have to clean it up for them. And there are probably some more other things that you can do, but honestly, considering jail time for the parent, no. At best, I'm putting the kids. I'm knocking up the kids in juvie. What the frick are we talking about here?
You're kind of dancing around the punishment too. You're over there with Stan.
No,
We might as well put you
punishment
in.
needs to happen to the kids.
I think you need to lock the parents up. You worried about how their bills gonna get paid? Like who gives a
Other
fuck?
kids in the house.
You gonna so wait. So you're gonna tell me I'm gonna put the person in debt too?
Absolutely.
No,
Crazy
there's
as hell.
other kids in the house.
Hold on. Let me work, Wally. Let me work this scenario out with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand
Oh,
this.
he's showing his face.
I want y'all to understand this shit. You're trying to tell me this ninja right here is the prime example why the community keeps on fucking dying and losing. Because now you want to talk about the community that go there. Because let's be honest, most of them damn kids that I see were mostly black. So you're going to try to tell me we're going to put the community in worse or dog shit?
Let me ask you something.
Kids? Oh, come on.
Now there was a bunch of white ones too. They get the smoke. Shit, they act up. They going too. This is. But let me ask you, Wally. Okay, so say like the kids were acting up.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then like one of the parents, they get hit with the hammer. They go to jail, and like you said, shit unravels. You don't think other people gonna look at that and be like, yeah, we tighten it up. Fuck that.
Either which way, but that doesn't.
You don't think that would be like send a signal like, look, we ain't playing no games.
Either way. But my thing is again, that is a bad deal that's a bad deal across the board. You're trying to tell me, okay, I'm a motherfucking destroy this one person's life just to motherfucking show y'all motherfuckers to tighten up. Fuck no, I'm not gonna destroy someone's life for that shit. The hell, y'all motherfuckers, y'all crazy if y'all want to do that shit. Because all it takes is for y'all kids to fuck up and do that dumb shit.
All I know is it's going to be a lot of private schools in Jamaica that's going to be full of American kids.
So you gotta send them kids to Siberia and shit.
Hey, one time I was trying to act up. That's what my father told me. He's like, I'm going to send you to Jamaica. I'm like, we're not Jamaicans. He's like, you don't know what we are. I'm going to
Let me add this other part. Let's add this other part. Who to sit here and say that the parents are always the cause of these motherfucking delinquents doing this shit in the first place? Most of these kids are performing for their fucking best friend with their punk asses.
Wally, the parents is dropping these kids off to these little functions, man.
They ain't to the functions. They drop off to go to the movies.
The choices of the functions. The punk ass kids themselves.
I think if they set that example, I think if they like
So let's be real. We're trying to sit here and say that there's not at least some kids that have parents that are honest, good parents, but then they be the fuck ups that be out there fucking up their own lives. We're gonna act like that's not the case. And
that's probably the case, but we ain't got time to sort all that out. You gotta go. Your kid's a menace to society. You gotta go too.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying that's some. I'm not saying they're the majority. I'm saying they're the minority. But again, to those minority, I'm gonna destroy their lives too, just because.
Absolutely.
No. The fuck no.
All right, how about this? Let's work this out. All right, Wally, say like one of the parents gotta go because the other one gets to stay back and they're gonna pay a fine. So it's like not both of the parents get locked up, but one of the parents.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna choose that one? Well, who's gonna go down? Is it gonna be the mother or the father? Either which way.
It's gonna be
you gotta flip a coin, Wally. Somebody's gotta pay this penalty.
Nah, they both gotta go. They both gotta go.
See, this is my point I'm talking about. The community fuck.
Now, I mean, yo, listen, man. It'll send a message and it'll make sure that these parents raise their kids right, man. You know what I mean? Nobody trying to go to prison for beating up somebody's child.
That don't mean
damn near beating them up to death because they mad disrespectful. Man, lock both their asses
Are we
up.
talking about beating up kids or are we talking about beating them motherfucking locations?
Because like, cause you looking at like what kids gonna know is like they never gonna take accountability. They know it's the parents' fault. Who's gonna take care of these kids? The parents is locked up. It's not gonna be the uncles, the aunties, or
Lock their
grandparents.
asses up too. They all need to get locked up, man.
Well, that's what I am agreeing with. That's because the case. Because again,
You know what?
End up in juvie.
I want to tell this to every child out here. When you have a quote unquote family vacation to Nigeria, China, or Jamaica, don't go. You're not coming back.
I kind of like Rush's concept though, because man, I don't know if y'all seen that Locked Up Abroad, man. Like some of them prisons, they have the whole family in there. Like if somebody get locked up, nah, for real, man. Like you go down to like South America, they'll have the whole family in that piece.
The whole family?
Yeah, some of them prisons, they're like, it's like a living community. They can't leave out there. Like guess say like if they got their wife living with them, she could go out and go shopping and shit. But it's just
is
like
that conjugal visits or this is like
no, they smashing, they living in there. But it's just like they can't never leave that facility, and you know it's yeah, I forgot which country that was.
Oh,
but nah, yeah, they should lock them all up because I guarantee like if me and Rush we had our way, man, like I'm telling you, all it take is like 3 families. Everybody else gonna be like, look, we putting chips on y'all phones. Y'all got a curfew. Them parents gonna be parenting. They be like, look, you ain't about to be out here messing up.
Chip on the phone.
Man, I'm out of here.
Are the trackers and stuff that what's the air things that they be having? Hey, they gonna be tracking these kids. They be like, look, I told you to have your ass home at 7:45. They gonna be in that car like, scooping
but
them
kids
up.
don't drive anymore.
Well, guess what? Them parents gonna be like hovering over them. Cause I know if like they pass some shit like that, my son was out there, I'll be like, oh hell no, where he at? I'm gonna be out in there like roaming them areas.
But could it be the community have failed them because it's city living? City did not plan for teenagers. Yeah, because they didn't plan nothing for teenagers. Again, what a teenager supposed to do? You want them to stay inside their house and do nothing?
They don't. I'm saying, but what did the community got to do with that?
Because it's the community that's at fault. You don't have security. The community's at fault.
The fuck?
You don't welcome the teenagers. You don't let them have any sense of ownership. You go ahead and just get them arrested. Now you coming for their parents. They got 2 more years until adulthood. Like, yo, if anything, invest in some kind of program.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm blaming the community.
You blaming the community based upon
Man,
what?
Ain't nobody got time for that, man. You know what I'm saying?
See, there you go. Nobody got time for it.
I need Stan to answer this question. Blaming the community on what, though?
You build a city that wasn't planned for teenagers.
Ain't none of that shit planned for teenagers. What the fuck we talking about?
Teenagers need some place for their own.
So you saying like we don't got enough like youth programs? That's what
with money.
Youth programs, money or time.
Listen,
Which
man,
one
if
is
they
it?
had youth programs, they're not gonna show up, man. These kids don't, man. I'm telling you. You see, you ain't ever dealt with these YNs, man, so you don't know what it's like, man.
I mean, that's
it's not peaches
YNs.
and cream with these kids, man. I mean,
But that's YNs. YNs is something special. Either you drop them off in Jamaica, Nigeria, or China. That's how y'all fix that problem. Because when they come back, y'all Espanol, they sit down, they serve the community, and they married to fresh off the boat, and they got a family of 5 they're supporting. So that's how you fix that problem.
He's stupid. You said you gonna deport?
So Stan, we're gonna act like they ain't no part.
Hold on, one person at a time. Hold on. Go ahead, Rush.
now I was saying like Stanley would have a different perspective if they broke into his house, broke into his vehicle, and getting everything fixed out of your pocket. You would have a different perspective about the punishment for these kids and these parents, man. This shit is off the chain, man. That's not something you want to deal with, man. I'm telling you, man.
But we already have the solution. That's what I'm saying. The solution always been ship them back to the old country, and they get stuck there. You don't get your passport.
You acting like all these kids are all from the islands. What the fuck you talking?
They don't have to be from the islands. I wasn't from. Like I said, my father was going to drop me off in Jamaica. He gonna drop me off Jamaica to a boarding school, and like I'd be lucky if I pick you up when you're 20.
M3
Some
was
of them got
good,
dropped
man.
off in the orphanage. So I'm like,
Hold on, let me get M3's take on this. So M3, man, do you think parents should be charged with their if their kids are out there acting out? The parents should be charged. How you feel about that?
Normally, like, if I was trolling, like, I would say, like, lock the parents up because, like, they're like the demon seeds and, like, they breed off the demons. So they should be punished. But if you really think about it, there are really actually, like, good parents that's out there. And unfortunately, man, like, when the kids that grow up, like, in certain, like, areas, like, within the community, wherever it be province or where it be, like, given out to the streets, I mean, ultimately at a certain age, right? The kid, man, is going to, like, make his own decision as he gets older. And if he hangs around with the wrong crowd, despite of like parents like trying to warn him or trying to be there for him and try to like, really put him in programs that's going to keep him or her safe, and that child like still want to like be like disobedient, then I mean, you can't really fault the parents, like, and I'm just saying, like, if you've been raised by like good parents, but you choose like to be a knucklehead.
Okay. All right, I do got a question for Rush though, because Rush, me and Rush we took the stance of like, yeah, the parents should be locked up. So Rush, would you feel different if you had a wild kid out here? He was like 15, 16, and he was doing this stuff. Would you still be for this law?
First of all, if I had a kid, he won't be doing shit like that. I'll make sure he not involved with something like that. And this is why I ain't got kids, man. You see this shit right here, man? This shit is crazy, man. You know what I mean? These hoes ain't loyal. These kids is disobedient. This shit is crazy out here. This shit's looking like fucking, I don't know, man, pandemonium out here, man. These kids is off their hinges, dog.
I ain't gonna lie. The only reason I'm signing up for this is because my son is like over the age of 18. Because if my son was like 15, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Fuck that law.
Point exactly. Get the fuck out of here.
but now suppose that you're responsible, like one of like your cousins or your in-laws or your sister's kids, so you have a nephew at home that you're responsible for. Like, how would you talk to him?
I wouldn't be responsible for no kids at all, man.
But mind you, the parents in jail. This is what you agreed to. So now,
for a specific reason.
but now,
man.
no, you can't. Now's your nephew. This is your.
You're saying you don't parent kids because of shit like this, but again, so are you saying that you would raise your kids possibly wrong?
Listen, if I had any kid under my supervision, they not doing no dumb shit like that, man. Word is born.
But at the same time, so what would be blocking you from having kids then?
I ain't hear what you said. Say that again.
I said, what would block you from having kids? Because basically, what you just said, you said that this is why I don't have kids.
No, I don't plan to have kids ever. But but if I did, like, he wouldn't be doing no crazy shit like that, man. Like, yo, that's a shit. Did you see the video clips he played, man? Like, that's a problem.
I seen it, but again, you say you wouldn't raise them like that, but again, that's my point. Going back to what I said earlier, you may not raise him to do that shit. Doesn't mean he won't. Again, a lot of these kids are so stupid to not to follow their friends.
Telling you, nigga, if I had kids, nigga, nah, they ain't doing that, nigga. I would raise them right, my nigga.
And everyone's gonna try to raise their kid right. Doesn't mean they don't fall for stupidness.
But look, if this thing passed, right, and the parents are locked up, you gotta answer this question. Now you're responsible for your nephew or niece because their parents are in jail.
Hell no.
No. This is going to happen.
You see the domino
too fall. The system is too full. So now he or she is your responsibility. I want to start with SJ first, then M3, and then Rush, and then Wally. Go ahead, SJ.
Why? What are you asking?
So now the parents, your in-laws, cousins, whoever, are in jail. So now you have their kid. Like how you do things differently with that kid, because now you're responsible for that child. You have a 15-year-old in your house now.
So you're saying like if
the parents are now in prison, the kid have to go somewhere. You're the next
I got
kin.
you.
Yeah,
I got another sister, so she's gonna have to step up to the plate then.
No, she's in prison too, so you gotta raise them kids.
No, I got two. That's what I'm saying. I got like two sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So-
her husband don't want it, so it's up to you and your wife. You can't throw him away. He's all yours. What you gonna do?
Hey, those kids gonna be state property with their parents, cause that ain't my responsibility.
Oh, come on,
See,
Uncle
that's
Phil.
what I'm
You
trying
got.
to say. Locking up the
Man,
parents it's not an
send all of
answer.
them to jail, man. If they ain't got no supervision, they getting locked up too.
I'm a rush. I'm with the family prisons now.
I ain't raising
You
nobody
stay in prison. You
Everybody
get
gotta
locked
go.
up then for past motherfucking no.
But Stan, right? What you're displaying, you see how that's a domino effect, right? And honestly, that law would be unfair to me, right? Because a person, right, who don't have any kids, right, don't have no desire to take care of nobody else's kids, you know, why would let's just say if I had a fucked up brother or whatever, right, with some fucked up kids, right, and now both their stupid asses got locked up or whatever, and the kids get transferred to me, I'm gonna send them back to the system, you know.
The system is full.
I like your style, M3.
Hey, well, you know what? My house is full too, right? You know, one
The
bedroom
system will
apartment.
pay you,
Hey,
though.
there's not enough room. All right, for
No, you got
another
because the
seat.
system is full. If
You know, Stan, I'll donate them to you, man, because you know you look like
no,
you would be a
but
good
if you put
parent.
the kids away, that means you gonna go to jail as well.
Hey.
Nah, it can't impact
you can't do
anybody
that.
else. It's just the parents. Stan trying to
Yeah.
throw everybody in that
Well,
shit.
yeah, because how the government's gonna get the money?
Listen, man. I mean, at what point do the parent take accountability for their fucked up child, man?
They already take
You gotta
accountability.
some
They in
sort of
jail.
accountability for that, man. That's
They're already
what
in
you,
jail.
man. Not every grown man is gonna be patient with your child, man. If your child disrespectful, man, he might get his ass whooped to death, my nigga. Raise your
Let's be
child right,
honest.
nigga.
Let's be honest. We got grown adults running behind 17-year-olds. So the grown adults out there are disappointed. The grown adults think they're teenagers.
Yeah, all bullshit aside, I think the best way, definitely there's got to be some accountability to parents. So I like what Wally was saying earlier as far as like the community service, definitely a fine. But them kids that step over, like the young man that got shot, that kid, yeah, he need to be on what they call those juveniles, jails, whatever. So yeah, but the parents do gotta have some form of accountability, man, because they dropping them off, man.
Then mind you, if the parents in jail, who's gonna take care of the kid?
Kids go through some type of like community stuff too, just as much. It's like
Well, a bunch of teenagers.
I don't give a freak. Hey, look, in high school you have to do some freaking service anyways, right? Just before you graduate. So same shit. At the end of the day, these kids all got to do something, bro. Everyone got to do something.
Okay, hold on, Wally. So you're saying like the whole family need to, well, not the whole, but the parents and the kid, they need to do some community service.
Yeah, they need to do some community service.
Okay, that's fair.
I can go further when it comes to the idea of the kids. Like, okay, if the kids are out here doing something to the point that they have to cause destruction, and there is no real legitimate reason for you to causing that destruction, then yeah, I would definitely sit here and say this. They need to take some type of anger management classes, something of that nature. They got to be hung up. They got to be hung up for that shit. Because where that shit coming from, huh?
You said anger management?
Well, where's that coming from? Where you just magically out of nowhere just destroying people's shit? For
Man,
what?
that ain't gonna help, man. These kids hard headed, man. Lock all their asses up, man. Get the parents with the crime,
You
man.
gotta think about it again.
Man, you think that shit is man? That shit ain't sweet, man. I'm
Okay, but hold up. But wait a minute. Are we just acting like again? When I say anger management, let's be very mindful of what we talking about here. These kids are doing something. Okay, let me put it to you like this. Have y'all ever seen Maury and then these like they show these special episodes where these kids were just out here just being outrageous and shit like that, and then some like someone
military guy.
Yeah, so that, and they just set them down and they really put them somewhere. That's my whole point. My thing is, the thing is, a lot of these kids ain't really being toughed on. Let's be honest. We took away the idea of beating kids because now it's called abuse in the household. We took away all these type of things. So there is no honest control when it comes to these kids to have a set mindset of actually having some stability of responsibility for themselves, let alone their actions that they put out there. They just gonna go with the wind with the shit. And now look at it where it is today. We ain't beating these kids, respectfully. You ain't doing no type of punishment with these kids. So now they're going to go out there and go rage. But guess what? You sit them down and you actually really sit them down with some shit and show them that and break them down and build them back up. they have no choice now to be in control.
You know what,
and
man?
shout out, and gotta give a shout out to anger management courses. Been going to them all my life. They do work.
Stan and Wally's kind of soft. That's what I'm hearing.
No, anger management, you have to learn the choices.
These kids out here tearing up shit, and y'all want to have an AA meeting with these motherfuckers?
Hey, look, anger management is a real thing.
Hey, look, hey, anger management can look how it is, one way or another. Because I say it like this. Okay, let's look at it from this way. I guarantee you right now, if you told the kid, okay, you went to go destroy this place in this area, and this what you did, and this what you thought, let me do that to you. The kid gonna be like, you ain't gonna do nothing to me. And guess what? If I do something right then and there, I have full clearance. I can do everything I please. Then what? That kid could get beat up. It's gonna be one way or another. You want to talk about being soft? It don't make a difference. It's gonna be.
I do agree, like a boot camp or something like that, where it's like, man, you making them exercise and stuff. I agree with that, and like what they call it, beautification, where they're like cutting grass, painting, picking up trash. I agree with all that, but yeah, y'all talk about some anger management.
The boot camp that was part of boot camp. You still got to do anger management.
But SJ, that's pretty much what I'm eyeing for. Like that type of stuff.
Nah, you said you was talking about sit them down and y'all gonna be eating pudding cups and shit.
I didn't talk about sitting down and
that does not happen.
All that complicated stuff. Look, man, the reality is this, right? Okay, if you're a parent, okay, you know what you have to do. You want to raise a kid that, you know, that's going to be good, loyal to you, not be in the streets. You got to be an active parent. You got to you got to make a lot of sacrifices, and you got to put yourself and your child in a vicinity where they're away from like these type of temptations, these type of peer pressures. Because the peer pressure, man, that's where it's going to really start from. And if your child is soft and is weak already, I mean, they're gonna fold, you know, and they're gonna be a part of the crowd. So
see, the community's at fault. The community.
No.
Stan blame everybody but the parents.
Right. Stan, if you're responsible for giving birth right to a demon seed, right, you know, you are 100% at fault for it. Now you gotta do your due diligence, right?
But that's a sociopath. If you that's a
psychopath. Hold on. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. You got to do your due diligence, right? To make sure you contain and control wherever seed that you give birth to, that you help give birth to. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got to put your child, look, honestly, like you got to put your child in places, right? Where they're going to be focused and locked in on the positive things. You should be the one that the child actually will look up to and be like, you know, damn, you know, I want to be like my dad, right? You know, like when I grow up and do certain things that's positive. But if you just let like the community or whatever, the community take over and raise your kid in public schools and all that shit, then of course, like that child's going to look at things on a different level. That child's going to look at other things that's more important than what you're trying to teach them. And so you got to make sure that you put your child into that space, right? Where they're like, where a child can really like just have some type of discernment and be like, you know what? I have a good life, you know, thanks to my parents. Why would I fuck it up just to try to be cool with somebody that doesn't even give a damn about me? Like if I'm 6 feet under or if I get locked up.
Because society makes sociopaths.
Shout out to Stan for blaming the community, society, because he's a piss
The
poor parent.
community has a play in that.
So Stan, so what you're saying is you created a sociopath?
No, that's what I'm saying. A psychopath is someone that's born that way. A sociopath is like you looking at their environment have made them that way. So what you guys describing is sociopathic kids, and it's like, okay, the community needs to come in. Like M3 said, you got to put them in the environment. I said earlier, when you don't have an environment for teenagers, but understand, but they're not an environment for teenagers. Where's we used to have roller rinks, like skate parks. Where's like we have all these fundings and these cuts. So when you cut out the swimming pools, you cut out the teen centers, and you cut out football and art programs and everything else that kids are interested in, what they're supposed to do. And then you don't want them to be at home on the computer. You don't want to be an incel. So you drop them off And then I'm like, okay, then what else do you want? Like,
but Stan, you understand, like, because I get what you're saying, man. It would be nice if they had all that stuff, but nobody supported none of that stuff. Because I used to think the same thing, man. I went with my sister to one of these, like, I forgot what it was, but it was like to bring money into the schools to get programs. And they was, you know, they were like, hey, man, we could increase the taxes a little bit just to bring it. Them people are like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about roller rinks and some of these pools, it's like, man, nobody be coming. So they ain't making no money. That's why they end up shutting them down. So, yeah, a lot of these, like Rush was saying earlier, these kids don't want to do a lot of these activities. You know, so that's the sad part. Because, yeah, they like, damn that, I want a device and I'm cool. I'm trying to chill in the house. And the parents will allow them. So that's the other piece. So, yeah, I wanted to say, like, it's the community. I think the community's kind of tapped out, too, with all these costs and stuff. Hey, go ahead, 100.
We're gonna stop with this community shit. You telling me the community responsible for a bunch of kids that can't even read at their grade level? Everything that you name for them kids to do ain't got shit to do with them getting their grades right, filling out applications, learning how to file. You ain't said nothing that actually make them productive. You just said, hey, instead of going to do this fun shit, let me put y'all over here and go do this fun shit. Ain't nothing about gaining responsibility, accountability, nothing. You ain't said nothing that had nothing to do with them actually maturing. So yeah, let me catch you out here slipping. Your mama gonna be out here picking up trash with you, brother. Your mama gonna be out here with you. Go ahead, walk this highway, and both of y'all pick trash together. Yeah, I'm with all that shit. Cause that community shit, bro. No, we not, especially now in the community we live in. The next door neighbor ain't allowed to talk to your kid. We grew up in a time where the neighbor could smack you upside your head and take you back to your mama, so your mama could whoop your ass. That ain't happening no more. Fucking community. You better get your own goddamn kids. You told me I couldn't say nothing to your child, so you tell them. You need to figure the fuck out since you said the community can't be involved no more.
Bingo, the parents. That's
100 got a good point, man, because I know some people that some teachers and they said, like, you know, they damn near have to record the kids acting out in class and they'll send it to the mom and the parents would still be like arguing with them. Oh, my kid's an angel and shit. So yeah, we're dealing with some different breed though, Stan, because I get what you're saying, Stan, but yeah, like I 100 hit it on the head because yeah, back in the day, boy, everybody was on your neck and you know, your parents would side with them. They're like, that school teacher call here, like what you do, come over here, you in trouble. You know, now them teachers will the parents will argue with the teachers. So yeah, it's
shit. Some of them will whoop the teachers' asses. How far gone they are.
Yeah, that's
so
why a lot of
saying like kids are the new horses. Then,
what do you mean by that?
Like horses is seen as like a hobby, something that you have to put money into. So like now, kids is a burden. Kids are not a gift. Kids we don't invest in. They cost dollars to pick them out.
No, kids are an investment. You don't know. I don't agree with you. You know how much money people are spending on travel baseball?
That was a question. That was a statement.
No. This is, you know how much money people are spending on travel baseball and AAU right now? People are investing in their kids because my child will make it to the league and buy me a house. That's what most people are doing, and the parents that operate like that are the ones that are creating these kids, the ones that get to go outside and throw rocks through windows and not have any repercussions for it because it's okay, he's just being a kid. One day he's gonna be fuck all that. Those parents are the ones that are creating these fucking kids, bro.
Yeah, I think it's a multi-tiered, Stan. I think you definitely need to invest in them, but you also got to have like discipline and you got to be willing to take some shit away. Cause like 100 said, like, I was thinking when my son was playing them sports, man, them parents, man, they was like, I remember my son, he was playing on a team and there was another team. It was like super stacked up and they was like demolishing everybody. And the parents was like, I went over there, I talked to him. I was like, hey, man, you know, if you keep creating these like super teams, man, these kids ain't going to get practice. They need to learn how to lose and stuff. So, man, when you got parents that's like worse than the kids, I think that's a dynamic that fucks them up also because the parents are super competitive and stuff. So, yeah, it's weird.
I think we need to look up the word sociopath and psychopath because what you guys are describing is the creation of a sociopath. And if somebody is a
Which is another
sociopath,
excuse.
there's a way to reach that person and to get them to be an active, positive participant in society.
I think they're participating. I just think it's just too many like dynamics that you can't look at community because it's just like
But the community do make it because, in the sense, if you don't make something for somebody, and they don't feel like they're a part of it, they're not going to take care of it because they feel
but
like they're not a part of it. They want to waste it and throw it away. That's the
but I
only reason
can't
I
go over
get you
there
out
and
of the
enforce some
community.
stuff. Say like I see your kid and they're a little awkward and I'm like, hey man, you need to do this. That parent's gonna be offended. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
Well,
nothing
if
could
you
be
don't
correct.
do it, then you go to jail. It's just like kind of like CPS, right? You
Oh,
hit your
so now
kid, you
you're with
report
jail,
it.
huh?
Hey, but that's the law y'all implemented. I'm not with the jail. I say put the kid in jail
All
or
right.
take him to Nigeria.
It says a sociopath is defined as someone who has antisocial personality disorder characterized by a pattern of behaviors that include manipulation, deceit, aggression, and lack of empathy for others. That's so
You know
broad,
what's
man.
crazy? Yeah, you know what's crazy is I get tired of people throwing mental health issues on badass decisions. Like, why do you have to be? Why does it have to be trauma the reason why you cussed your teacher out? How come it has to be depression for the reason why you decided that you didn't turn in any homework? Why did it have to be some sort of bullshit sociopathic reason as to why you met up with 1,000 other teenagers and decided to jump on people's car and pull street signs down? Like, why the fuck does it have to be something other than you a dumbass and you need to get punched in your mouth? Why does it have to be anything other than that?
Okay, so let's say you did punch him in the mouth and that didn't fix anything, they still act out. The system is the symptom is still there. The lack of apathy is also linked to the depression. Like anger is a secondary emotion. Anger is not just anger. There's something underneath that anger. You're either not getting your needs met, you probably feel ignored, you're probably sad. So like we now need to dig deep and you gotta be honest, like what's going on.
And who's responsible for that, Stan? I'm not responsible for your sadness, and you're not responsible for mine.
But when we're gonna sit down and act responsible, even though that person's not connected to us because it's for the benefit
You
of the
know when?
community.
You know when I do it when I choose to. When it's in the benefit of me. You know when you're gonna do it, Stan? When it benefits you.
That's
I'm
not
not
how
I'm not
that
saying
works.
no, yes it is, Stan. Yes it is. You have been around long enough to know people who are addicts. And a person who is an addict cannot make a change until they are ready to.
But that's an
You can't. I
addict.
don't give. I don't give a. Okay, but it's the same. Oh, well, you're basically trying to give the same pass to these punk ass kids.
It's not a pass.
You call it, hey fam. Being an addict is a disease, and being a sociopath is a mental health condition that needs treatment. It's a pass for both, bro.
No, it's not. It's not the same thing because addiction is something else.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Addiction,
We
no,
definitely
addiction
disagree
is
on that.
something else. Addiction is you talking about the wheels of change. I understand that part, the stages of change. I get it, but like things has been going on. The kid presents well, and then the time they get hormones and changes is 13, and they get all this stuff going on, increases testosterone. Nobody's talking to them. Everybody's giving them responsibilities, and then this person explodes. They have no idea what the future's going to give them, and later on in life, everybody's telling them, "I can't wait till you turn 18. You're going to be out in the streets. I don't have to deal with you." That's a lot of pressure on the kid. Not giving an excuse, but we do have to sit down and have some form of empathy and like, yo, something's going on. What's happening? Because if this is like the new normal, I don't think kids is going to be around. Kids are going to be like horses. Nobody want kids
If
because they're
somebody
hurt.
did, if someone did exactly what you're talking about, and they are the age of 24, 25, 26, we would tell them they too grown to be doing shit like that.
But
Would
do
you agree?
we? Do we?
Okay.
We
Yeah,
don't do it.
you
No, we
definitely
don't
live in
do it.
California.
Okay,
You
no.
definitely
A couple weeks ago, we had that streamer with that boxer on there, and everybody said that man was young and he's only 25, and I said no, he's a grown man. He should know better. And the people on this panel all like, nah, man, he's young. He's not experienced. And I'm like, at 25, you should know better. So we either like we have patience for 25-year-olds or 20-year-olds, but we don't have patience for people who are just turning teenagers who's about to be an adult. Like, which one are we gonna do? Because I'm not wasting my time with a 25-year-old, but like a teenager, you do have to invest in them because they're developing, they're growing up. You got to catch them.
Okay, so that's why you do something like make the parents responsible, because it is the parents' responsibility to make sure this teenager is developing correctly. Hey, brother, we could be next door neighbors. It is not my responsibility to make sure that your child is developing well. I don't give a fuck about your child's development. I could care the motherfucker less. And then you got niggas like Rush who don't even have no kids. Why should he care about anybody's child development if he ain't got no
Oh,
kids himself?
and this was, and now here's the thing, right? When we assume it's not going to affect us, right? So when we put the parents in jail, understand the system is already full. Nobody adopts. There's no foster parents for teenagers. So now we're looking at an increase of teenagers in the system. Those kids have to go somewhere. When we don't understand the cascade, they have something called kinship care, where they're going to turn to the next adult in the family to take care of the kid. There's a danger when you go ahead and you put parents in jail. There might be younger kids. You don't know what's going on in that household. You have a teenager who's acting out, who needs help, who's going through it. Now the parents in jail. Now you got an uncle, aunt, second cousin, grandparents who's scared of responsibility because they also don't want to go to jail. And you can't put them in the system because the system is full. And so you're looking at it's a whole cascade of problems that's happening all around. I only say this because I work in the system and I see it all the time. And it's like, yo, when we put like the person who's responsible in jail and not give them the tools to help out with the family, it doesn't work.
Okay,
But Stan,
cool.
I
So you
guess
worked in the system. You worked in the system. So you tell me if you agree or disagree with this statement. Most of the children that were in the system that you worked in were there because of parental negligence.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all are coming back to the same solution. All of what you said is true. The child is 10, it's the hormones, they don't know what to do with it, this, that, and the other, woo, woo, rah, rah, rah. You know why that happened? Because their mama ain't sit down and had a conversation with them. Because their daddy ain't been over there to go give this little nigga a hug and tell him it's gonna be okay. So guess what? When these little niggas decide to go do something, I agree that they should be charged. Going to jail is probably a little extreme, but yes, you should be charged. And you know why you should be charged? Because the more charges you rack up, the more the more extreme the punishment should be. If you as a parent have a child that has got you charged 3 separate times for disorderly conduct and you're still dropping your child off at the mall to hang out with their friends, you deserve to go to jail. If it's the first or second time, no. But you're telling me there's 3 separate times your child got arrested for public indecency and you still continue dropping this nigga off with his friends? You do deserve to go to jail. I don't give a fuck about who taking care of the other kids or who paying the rent or who gonna walk the dog or water the plant. If you have a child that is a repeat offender and you have not done anything to change your child's behavior, take your black ass to jail.
Well, first of all, we ain't gonna say black ass. We'll put everybody ass in jail. So that's only for black people to go to jail. I just want to say this, right? When you shift the responsibility solely on the parent and the kid knows, you're gonna have resentment on the side of the parent, and the parent is gonna give that child up. Is it the goal now is for us to go ahead, have parents give the right to their children off to the state so the state could make money off these kids, and these kids going to grow in the system where they're just not going to develop as like consenting, like working adults. Hold on for a minute. I'm going to wrap it up. And then they go in the pipeline to jail as adults because you're going to see a lot of people that's hurt because of this stuff. A lot of times it's not just that simple. And also you got to look at some parents who never hugged growing up. Some parents only doing what they've known to
But
do
Stan,
from their own parents.
I think the biggest issue though is just like I get it, man. I think people have empathy, but I think a lot of people are just like tapped out because like for example, me and Watts, we got kids. So say like, man, we're working, we got to deal with commutes. we're coming home, man. You're already exhausted. Now you're dealing with your family on top of that. So you really ain't got no downtime. So if you even want to get like a little bit of a hobby, like go to the gym, it's just like, dude, your day is gone. You want to clean up a little bit. So it's like restarting the next day. And I think a lot of people are in that like rat race because, majority of families, both people are working. So, they're trying to put the most into their kids. Like you said, investing in them. They don't have the bandwidth to like take on anything else. People are at their breaking point. So it's just like, you can't really say the community needs to step in. It's like, man, they don't got anything more. What are they going to sacrifice their time with their significant others?
But
Now have a
but
bad, hold on. Now have a bad marriage because now they're taking on responsibilities. They don't get to see each other because they're working 40 to 50 hours. So that's what I'm saying, man. Society is at its breaking point. So parents
then the
have to
community.
fill in that void,
But then the community steps in the way of like take away the kid, putting the parents away. Either way, community still is involved in it, right? Like I said before, what's going to happen? There's going to be resentment from that child for that child. That child is going to be kicked out from the family. The family might move, want nothing to do with the kid. You got resentment. Now that child's in the system or the parents in the system. I'm just saying, like, it's not perfect, but to throw parents in jail and neglecting the fact that there's other children in the household is dangerous because it's not fair to the parents because they have been working with this kid. There's therapists, there's teams. This child is making a choice. So if this child is making a choice, I think the child, look, I'm all for like, we need to put boot camps. There got to be something in place. But like again, if you don't build something or a system in place for teenagers, what are they gonna do with all this freaking energy?
But I gotta tell you the reality stand, right? Now here's the thing, right? This kind of goes back to, when you guys asked me the first question about where I think about should parents get locked up, and I said like if you are a good parent and you're raising a problematic child, unfortunately, like you've done the best of your ability as a parent, right, to make sure you provide the best tools, the resources for your kid. At this point, it's beyond like your control as a parent because your child's not listening to you, right? And it's choosing the streets or the community, whatever that is bad out there or whatever, good or bad, that child is choosing the streets over you, your parental guardians. Now, I get it when you said about the community, because at this point, if it's a failed cause, you will want the community to kind of step in and, make your life easier. But again, the reality is this, man, and I'm just talking about the reality of today. You know, in America, in this society right now, everyone is stressed out. Everyone is going through something, and it all stems from money, of course, and not having a lack of resources, not being able, right, to sustain yourself because prices are high, but paychecks are still low. So the last thing that any individual that's a part of the community is going to want to think about is pretty much giving more of their time to raise someone else's kid because that parent failed to like do his due diligence, or that kid just doesn't want to be obedient. And the thing is, if that kid's not going to listen to the parents, that kid's definitely not going to be like listening to the community, no matter what. Everybody's too tied in and too like to themselves at this point, trying to make it, trying to get out of the hurdle of being middle class in hopes that they can like live for a better future, which that ain't happening anytime soon. So you have a community, but it's too stressed out and it's too preoccupied. And yet alone, if they have children themselves that they're dealing with, there's no way that there's going to be any type of investment because stuff programs, again, from the start of President 666 came in and pretty much defunded a lot of those
You
programs.
tripping.
you know, like like it was already a wrap. you know, like we're in a capitalistic type of society, right, man, where greed rules over anything. And unfortunately, if you're not on top of the chain already, you're not going to have your kid having the best resources and the best communities possible to help raise that kid because you're surrounded by people like in that same type of level of class, right? That is too stressed out to even do anything. Some of these dudes, adults or whatever, can't even take care of their own selves.
No,
Yeah,
I
but
agree
I
with you.
mean, Stan do got some solid points, but it's just it's so complex, man. That's what I think. Like when you start mapping it out, you start looking at what's really happened. People not supporting stuff. It's like, man, that's why a lot of stuff goes under. But it's just like, yeah, when you look at somebody's day, how much time they're spending going to from work, their
So
day
like
to
I
day
mentioned,
stuff. Yeah,
remember I said about Fairfield, right? And where we live in this rural residential community, people are going 2 hours, 4 hours to work, and then 2 or 4 hours back. So you're spending 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day commuting.
yeah. People just burnt out, so that's what it is. So yeah, the parents just got to fill that void, man. So as sad as it is, man, it's just that's you ain't supposed to be having no kids you can't raise, man. That's the reality. But all right, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the last topic, man. So this one, shout out to Watts. He's the one that brought this to my attention. So on Joe Buttons, there was a guy talking about heterosexual versus straight, and he says straight is performative, I think. So let me go ahead and pull this clip up. And Watts, we gonna start you out first on this. Watts said this shit irritates him, so he's definitely got some words for this. All right, let me play this.
Yeah. Heterosexual, that's biology. Straightness, that's a performance.
I'm too high for this one.
Nah.
I'm saying it like this.
Get some water.
Hold on.
Yeah. Straightness and whiteness, they're sisters. They're constructs. It's a label for you to perform. Also, when you think about certain boys that are raised, they're not raised how to be decent human beings. They're raised how not to be like girls. They're taught to hate anything that's feminine, anything that's soft, and that, anyone that expresses emotion that is soft. And also that rage and anger are also emotions. It's a lot of conditioning that has happened that hasn't allowed, especially us as black men, to just be human beings. You have to perform.
Yeah.
Your value is contingent upon what you do versus who you are.
I
So
understand that.
when you can rest well in yourself, what somebody else does with their private parts ain't stressing you out. You're not trying to perform. That's a heterosexual man. But when you are straight, it's rah rah. I hate women. Ugh, homies over hoes.
All right, 100. My man came out.
All right. See, I've been running in and out. I'm out here grilling this shit right now. Okay, that's why I ain't been chilling on the computer. But
nah, you good.
This irks the fuck out of me because I am completely getting tired of gay men telling me about being straight. I'm completely over this shit. Me and you play in two totally different leagues. Don't tell me how to play in my league, cuz. You a basketball player trying to tell me how to throw a touchdown pass. Shut the fuck up and stay in your lane, bro. I really have a fucking problem with this because words get to mean something whenever you want them to mean something. Because straightness is a construct, but being gay isn't. So you're telling me that me being straight and the rah 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 and all of that is performative, but as a grown ass man putting on lipstick and earrings and walking around talking about yes, bitch, yes, that's not performative too. There's not a level of performance that's involved in that as well. So my performance is damaging and destructive, but your performance is inclusive. What the fuck are we talking about here? Like I don't understand how how the world is just creating this space where a man that gets to stand on his 2 fucking feet and his 10 toes and say, no, I don't like that shit. I don't fuck with that. And now all of a sudden we toxic and control. Fuck y'all and fuck that. Shit like this. It's shit like this. That's exactly why niggas is choosing to be single and not be involved in nothing serious. Because anytime a nigga try and place himself in position to take care of somebody, it's never good enough. Or you have another reason as to why what you're doing is like, it's now at the point where you're basically telling me as a man, protecting and providing, paying all the bills is performative. But it's required to get your attention, but it's performative. It's not making any fucking sense. I'm over this shit.
Shout out to 100. 100 was like, look, I ain't having it. Yeah, the performative thing, man. I think everybody's trying to be too scholarly, in some of these conversations. So the whole performative thing, that was weird to use that word. So when you send me the clip, I'm like, why the fuck would you say like being straight is performative? like if you're just heterosexual, like that's just your
I
natural
don't I
order.
don't
That's
think I don't think he explained it right. Us as men, yes, there is a burden of performance on us, and that's what determines whether we're deemed worthy to be a man. That's what he was trying to say. But honestly, man, I think this was a PR move. Like, I don't know why Joe Budden's had, old boy on the show, because I mean, I guess he's trying to like grow his audience. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense to have a nigga like that on your show. You know what I mean?
no, I mean, I think he should be welcome to talk to everybody. But my thing is just like some of these conversations are just getting goofy, and I think people are trying to be too smart. Because, like you said, yeah, there's a burden of performance, but if I'm hetero and I just like women, I'm not really performing. I'm just that's my natural state. You know what I'm saying? And if we're going out, we're being competitive, and we're talking a little bit of shit. As long as we ain't on no gladiator shit trying to like pull these swords out and go at each other's heads, like there's nothing wrong with that. That type of like what he was saying, rah. It's like, man, that kind of builds you up to a certain degree. That's why we got sports and stuff. That's why men that get in them activities, it actually helps them out in other areas and stuff like that. So like Watts was saying, it's like it's not destructive. Now a destructive guy, you could be like those ones that's like tearing up stuff. Yeah, that would be different, but
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
a
he's
small
trying to
percentage.
paint a false narrative, man. Like he's trying to imply that most or all straight men are violent and they lack empathy, and that's not true. It's actually the complete opposite. Most women have no sense of empathy towards other people but themselves, man. You know what I'm saying?
Restore
I,
shots.
I don't know why, Joe
Oh,
Budden's
Travel
had that
One about to clap
bozo.
at you. Get him, Travel.
Man, I don't know why Joe Budden's had that bozo on that panel, man. You know what I mean? Because it make no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? The shit was a fucking PR move, man. Fucking bozo.
Watts, let me Watts, because there was another clip that was floating around where the one guy was like, man, 80% of men are like DL or something like that. So it's almost like they're trying to paint everything like most men are just
I was trying to find
like
there
the
was
performative stuff, like it's almost like they're trying to use some reverse psychology to like paint that brush like every guy got some like homo in him or something like that.
That's it. See, and that's the thing. It's like you're telling me that being masculine is toxic, right? But then you're telling me that me being masculine is a performance because I'm really gay. What the fuck are we talking about? How am I performing? Like it just I agree with it's false equivalencies that are getting put together that just don't make sense. Like, is there a type of guy that fits that description? Yes, we know plenty of niggas that play too hard. Like, bro, like why you gotta be so go hard all the time? What's up with you, bro? Like, we know dudes like that. Like, okay, cool, they exist. But the idea of being a man or the idea of being masculine is now turned into this thing to where now you're supposed to be docile. It's basically at the point now where I feel like if we keep heading on this track, you earn stripes by getting your ass whooped.
Yeah, it's supposed to be what they're gonna do is gonna be a film dom society.
Like winning a fight is going to be the most community disruptive thing ever. Like if you win a fight, you're a villain and a monster. But the guy that got pummeled, but the guy that got his ass whooped for talking crazy to somebody, he's the hero here because he was abused and he was a man and spoke up and spoke his piece and said was on his mind. Fuck out of here. This goofy ass shit, man. Some of it is performative. I'll agree. Some of it is performative, but it is a side effect of what is required. If you're telling me that my requirement is every day I get up and leave this house to take care of my family, there's a level of performance I have to perform to be able to maintain that.
Okay, so that
Right. And you can't leave it to your emotions because it's like I don't feel respected, therefore I'm not going to go to work until you provide what I wanted. We don't have that right as men. You have a responsibility.
Yeah, my take on this is that like, yeah, I could understand the performative aspect because as a man, you already going through a lot of societal, so like, pressures anyways, with both men and then women, and you're competing with yourself as well too. You know, um, I think what was overboard, like, with the whole homosexual comments and all that, like, I'm like, throw that shit out the window. That's that propaganda shit. That's the way how I looked at it. But I mean, to be honest with you, like, um, whoever you straight or whatever, man, like, you do whatever you need to do, right? To pretty much like take care of yourself and the family that's around you, or whatever type of responsibilities that you have as a straight heterosexual man. So I just feel like, man, like when you go like online and you watch all these like dumbass like talking points or whatever, man, people just say like stuff like for shock value. um because everybody trying to go viral, everybody trying to get a laugh or something. And they're always going to paint this picture as of us being like territorial Neanderthals, whatever you want to call it, right? Because when a man is trying to pretty much exude his masculine presence, which that's what both other men and women been craving for, you know. However, society on the flip side is always going to try to shame that, because they're always going to be threatened by your presence as a real man anyway, especially when you're doing real man things. So go figure.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, yeah. I saw it. I was like, yeah, there was a lot of word salad. Shout out to Travel One. So yeah, when they be talking like that, I'm like, man, what's the agenda? So I think Watts kind of hit it. It's like, yeah, they want people docile. Shit, damn that. I want to see people perform, and if that has them in a good state, taking care of family, handling their business and stuff, and they excelling, it's like, shit, there ain't nothing wrong with performance. Then hell, we all need to be performative then, because like the topic we was talking about before, with the kids like acting out and stuff, it's like, hell, we need people out there like toughening up and getting they self together.
But this also comes at the heel of another podcaster. He said that that straight black men are the cancers to the black society
Yeah, that's the one I was
community.
talking about. Yeah, there was about like 3 clips where there, like I said, it was that one, and then like I said, like 80% of men are DL. I'm like, man, how the fuck y'all get that like crazy ass numbers? But it's almost like they're trying to paint everybody like needs to be soft. I'm like, nah.
But that's the whole thing, is like, you don't even, like, the shame about having testosterone. It's like, it's crazy work. Like, this is how God made me. If like your father or whoever male figure in your life is supposed to show you how to control that and put it to work. I mean, that's all of us had those trainings, right? So it's like, you leave that out and you put this in. So the question I have to ask, like, who are you attracted to that like said no to you, that you putting this message out? Because it seems like you put an all statement with all of them. I'm like, well, you attracted somebody like this for you to come out and say that, because this is some bullshit. Because every time you come out, it's like, well, men need to go ahead and step up and blah, blah, blah. Men don't want you. The men that you want don't want you.
Oh, you said homeboy looking for a date. That's why he.
Oh, him, I give it to him. Like, he's a good singer. He won the Grammy, but also he put out there that he also like women. And let's be honest, women do like androgynous men. Prince, Michael Jackson.
What was that singer? What was his name then?
I don't know. I think it starts with a D or something like that. Devon, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. But all right, man, we'll go ahead. We'll close this out, man, and get everybody's parting words. So we'll start with Rush. My man Rush is famous. Melissa Ford said,
Yo.
fuck Rush.
Yo, man, raise your kids right, man, so they don't get their ass whooped by adults, man. You know what I mean? Stay sucker free.
All right, Wally, part words.
As far as what? Let's see, parting words. Are we just making last statements?
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. I would have to re-listen to all that performance talk because I don't know what was really said at that point. And plus I wasn't really asking any questions on that anyways. So with that said, as far as these kids, y'all parents need to do better. That's all I gotta say for that.
All right. M3 parting words.
Yeah, man. Look, parents, man. If you can't raise like a demon seed properly, you shouldn't even have any kids. Honestly, man, like you can't really expect like the community to step in my opinion, to like help raise your kids. But what you could do as a parent, man, is to try to at least do your due diligence to help raise that kid into like the best way how you want to mold them. But if it's a failed cause, man, or you're just like a parent that's just lazy and you just pop out kids, then yeah, you definitely deserve like the type of jail time. And then as far as with the whole if you straight then you're hidden, you're secretly gay or whatever type of agenda. I'm like, I ain't got no comments to that.
All right. Stan, parting words.
To the third one, if you don't want to understand men and you don't like men, just say that. This is getting ridiculous. Like there's men studies. Go study men and understand like what men do sexually is not the same what they do in life. Like there's separate things. You just gotta like separate it and be honest when you come on these panels. Who dumped you? Who was he that you up here saying these lies? Like, come on, leave men alone. Just tell us who you want and then go talk to them and I don't know, do something. The second part, man, like, look, I still don't believe that parents should go to jail. However, I will say this. We do need to implement some laws and like, yo, have curfews before. Like before summertime, have curfews. Go back to you can't come in here unless you come with a parent or consenting adults. We have to go back to stuff. And also any adult that hang out with a kid, little 45-year-olds that's want to hang out with kids and just act like they're a kid themselves, get them arrested. Get them out of here. Like, you shouldn't be hanging around with children. This is ridiculous.
All right. My parting words, man. You got a little weirdo that come to your front door, give his ass that work. Parents, you don't tighten up with your kids. Either you're going to jail or we putting Stan in jail with all this community shit that he talk about. So I think Stan should be wearing the brunt of the
And then
punishment.
my kids coming to your house. You in a rush. All 6 of my kids come to your house. Is that gonna split it?
Stan need to raise all of them then. Shit, we gonna put Stan in jail. But all right, y'all, man. Check out Labudo Network. Yeah, we gonna possibly do a live tomorrow. Like I said, Rush is out here famous, and check us out over there. We gonna chop it up. But all right, y'all, we out of here. Peace.
Later, y'all.